Working in the property industry, the majority of the people that we deal with require some kind of funding or mortgage. So whether you're looking at buying a property or remortgaging yourself, or you may well be a first-time buyer, or looking at buying for investment, for example, it's really useful to have a mortgage broker to talk to. And what I wanted to do today was bring in Martin Faulkner from Principal Financial Services, who brings with him a wealth of knowledge within the industry, and just run through the benefits really for us from an estate agent's point of view of making sure that you've got your finances in place, but also looking at it from a mortgage advisor's view and the benefits that they can help and bring to you as well. So once a client actually wants to make an offer on a property, that we'll obviously make sure that they have their finances aligned with their decision in principle. But once an offer has then been accepted, obviously it then needs to go to the application stage. And I think one of the frustrations, I think, from an estate agent is if a client has gone maybe direct with Halifax, I keep using them as an example, or Nationwide, we don't necessarily have any direct contact or have any insight as to where that is on their application stage, whether it's still with underwriting. It's very difficult to speak to a bank or building society direct. And I guess from a customer's perspective as well, I don't know how much paperwork is involved when they have to do that application, and sort of the benefits of perhaps using a mortgage broker to do a lot of that work for them.
Yeah, absolutely. As with most things, communication is king, and that's it's absolutely critical when you're going through a mortgage application process. So there's kind of really two parts to what I do. So the first part is really about doing that research, that we talked about earlier, and effectively, making sure that we get the client the lowest total cost product that is available for them. The second part of kind of what we do is probably the most important part, and that's actually getting the application through to completion, because effectively until that happens we're all doing it for fun, really. And that is where communication is absolutely key. And this isn't to kind of knock going to a lender directly and a mortgage advisor that works for a lender directly. It's not to knock them at all, but they're limited as to what they can do. So to help the application go through to completion, there's quite a lot of interaction that's required with third parties. So to give you an idea, at the lenders you have the underwriters, case managers. Quite often we've got a business development manager at the lender that we will engage with as well, that can help us sort of process the application through. And then you've obviously got the agents themselves. So quite often, they'd be backwards and forwards with the agent. In terms of
we have to update our sellers during that process as well. So if we're able to get an update from a mortgage broker, we can then again pass the confidence onto our sellers. The application's been submitted, it's with underwriting, it's passed, the survey's been instructed, and obviously that's the benefits of the communication we're dealing with the mortgage broker, isn't it? From an estate agent's point of view. Yeah,
definitely. It just keeps everything kind of smoothly running, and keeps kind of everything on track, really. But as you've got other people involved, other third parties involved. So you've got, for instance, the valuers. You've got the conveyancers. So they're obviously a critical part of the process as well. And quite often there will be interactions with them, particularly quite often we find we almost act as a bit of a go-between the lender and the valuers or the conveyancers. And these are things that are elements that sometimes can knock a case off track and can really delay things. So being proactive, being involved in that process is really, really important, just to make sure we get things progressing as smoothly as possible. And I think the other benefit that we do add as well, if you don't mind me adding to that, is it's all about the process and getting things sort of running smoothly. But also something else we kind of do add in as well is that if we place somebody with a particular lender, and then that lender then drops their rates, for example, we monitor that. So we will always ensure that the client is on the best possible rate. And
would a lender not do that directly then? If you were dealing with a lender directly, would they not necessarily come back to say, "Oh, rates are low, we're going to provide you a better deal"?
They wouldn't tend to. No, not in my experience. No, that they would tend to leave that to the applicant to do. So
that's interesting. So obviously if people aren't buying for the first time, a lot of people will already have a mortgage, which obviously some people will want to move on to their next property as well. Porting, I think they call it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, porting a mortgage. So again, really, really important that they get some advice around porting, because there's kind of generally there's a couple of options. Okay, so
sounds simple, doesn't it?
It does sound simple, but it should be simple, but it's not. So effectively two options. You can port your current mortgage, your current rate, to the new property, and typically then you might get a top up on the extra amount on a new business product, or you can potentially move to a new lender. But there could be early repayment charges involved with that. So we kind of do a cost analysis where we compare the two, you know, and that's really important, because again, you know, part of our role is to make sure that we're doing the best by the client and getting the lowest total cost solution that we can. I think the other thing reporting as well, and I mentioned, you know, it should be simple, but you know, if you kind of think about it from the lender's perspective, although they're an existing customer, you know, there can be quite a passage of time since they've last engaged and they've got information on that customer. So as far as the lender's concerned, they treat it like a brand new application, and quite often as well there'd be some extra borrowing on top. So you know, there's a bit of a misconception that because you're an existing customer it's a quick, easy process, but it's not. It's effectively like doing a brand new mortgage for a brand new customer.
And I think a lot of clients look at it like that as well. I've already got a mortgage, I'm just going to take it on to the next property, and they just think it will be quick and easy. And I think sometimes, again, the benefits of having a broker that's going to be fighting your corner when you are porting your mortgage is certainly massively beneficial to an estate agent. Just again, it just helps us be able to maintain communication between buyers and sellers.
Yeah, exactly, and it comes back to what we said earlier about just helping with that mortgage process, dealing with all the kind of third parties, and it's no different for a mortgage. You know, people are busy; they've got busy lives. They're busy with work, they're busy with family. You know, haven't got time to sort of be knee deep in dealing with all these different third parties, and that's kind of what we do. Our objective is effectively to shield the customer from the mortgage process.
Yeah. There you go. The benefits of using an independent financial advisor. Martin Faulkner, Principal Financial Services. If you want to talk to him, they're now based next to our Parker's office in Tarlest on School Road. So if you wanted to pop in, have a chat, or send him an email, or give him a call, I'm sure he'll be happy to help.
Thank you,
Martin.
Cheers. Thank you very much.